Hey friends, welcome back to the Duck Hill Workshop. My name is Ben and today we are talking about our American Green lights. The light fixtures that are responsible for providing all of this glorious illumination. Before we get into the video too far, I do want to be upfront. We did receive a significant discount on the purchase price of these fixtures. However, when I initially contacted Jim at American Green Lights to start designing lights for this space, I was intending to pay full price. This is the third time that we've used them and it's a no-brainer to me. I've made my decision to use them. I like them. I'm gonna put them in every space that I can. In fact, I'm imagining I wanna build a light fixture in our guest bedroom instead of buy one. And I want to use the American Green Lights retrofit kits that I have used in my office space. You can see that video here. So I haven't even talked to Jim about that yet, but we'll get there. And I will pay for those, is what I'm trying to say. I wanted to get that out of the way before we dive into the reasons why I like these fixtures so much and why I think you will too. Before we get to that, I'm gonna go away. We're gonna watch the installation happen, watch our awesome electricians get to work. So, say hello to Kurt and Brian as they get ready to set up and install all of the electrical in this building, including the lights. Unfortunately, I only filmed lighting or installing this side of the workshop. This is the garage side. The service panel is in here. But it kind of, when you've seen one light fixture get installed, you've seen them all get installed. So let's talk about why these lights are awesome. One, they have the highest CRI that I could find anywhere. When Kurt asked what lights we wanted, I told him that I wanted LEDs that had a high CRI above 90. And I think the highest that he could get from his supplier was in the 80s, which is not bad, but I wanted the highest, the best. When you're doing video work, when you're doing product photography, you want the truest, most accurate color that you can get. So CRI is the color rendering index. Wikipedia says that it is a quantitative measure of the ability of a light source to reveal the colors of various objects faithfully in comparison with a natural or standard light source. Basically, it shows the true colors in comparison to sunlight at high noon on a clear day. But as I mentioned, for people that do video work, photography, for woodworkers who need to compare just the color of lumber or the color of a finish, stain, you're trying to match a repair, you're trying to match an existing piece of furniture, or you're mixing paint colors if you're painting your furniture, like having accurate colors is important. But it saves, in this case, it saves a ton of time in editing videos and photo. One of the other reasons that I really like these fixtures is they are incredibly bright. They're putting out over 100 lumens per watt. And it means that I have more than 124,000 lumens in this workspace. When I initially asked Kurt to provide dimmer switches for these, he's like, okay, I'll do that for you, but I don't think you're gonna need it. And once we turned the power on for the first time, he changed his mind. He did in fact believe that we needed the dimming switches.
Should we see if they work? Let's see. Let me make sure I got it. Oh yeah. I suppose we could pretend. Whoa! Turn the lights up. Hey, they dim and everything. Look at that. Whoa! Turn the lights up. Oh, that's better. Thank you. Wow. You know, normally, when you said you wanted a dimmer, I was like, okay, you know, I'll give whatever he wants, but you actually, if you have people over, you wanted it.
A friendly reminder that these are 0 to 10 volt dimming, so you will need the nice, expensive dimmers. I believe these are Lutron Divas. They're like 75 bucks a piece. There is a DIY option using a potentiometer. You can see the link to that video here, or you can contact Jim at American Green Lights for details on how to do it. However, having both options available to me, I would choose the dimmer every time. So some of the reason why it's so bright in here is because when we were designing this space, when Jim was preparing the simulations, my specification was I need as much light as evenly as possible over the whole space because I do not know what the layout looks like or is going to look like. And he used the dimensions. I had not made a SketchUp model of the space, though if you are capable of doing that, you certainly can, and you send them the model and they import it, and then it shows your rendering significantly more accurately to your workspace. And from there, once you've gotten the amount of light on all your work surfaces that you want, then they generate a map. It looks like this, a layout for where the fixtures need to go. It's a super handy service that they provide, and it's free. Now, as you can see from the heat map, like I have very even light across the whole workspace at the height of a workbench. And if I ever find that I need more light in a specific area, I have the 6 light fixtures from my old garage shop that I can easily turn into task lighting. Some of them I think will become task lights for like finishing, so I can get a cross light, or for specific product photography, so I can have a little bit more control over the light when I set up a lighting booth. Other reasons why I like these fixtures, or well, why I chose to order them for this workshop is that I have 5 years of experience with them in other workspaces. They're commercial fixtures that they're designed to handle more than 100,000 hours of use, which works out to like 30 years of lifespan. Now, fingers crossed that do I get those? Do I get that life? Because you're not changing bulbs. You know, it's not like how long do the old fixtures stay in place, right? You change the bulb all the time, but the fixture continues to work. Well, you don't change these LED fixtures, they just continue to work. I'm 5 years into that 100,000 hours with some of my fixtures, so maybe we'll revise this conversation in 28 years or something. And then when you talk about that 100,000 hours of use and them being commercial fixtures, the other thing is they have a 5-year warranty. And this company is based in California. So when you have a problem, you call them. If you have a problem, you call them and they get you a new part really fast. I did have one instance in my old shop where one of the drivers died. Without indication, it gave up the ghost, and I did a little bit of digging around and decided that I sort of knew what the problem was and contacted Jim, and he said, yep, you need a new driver. Had one in the mail to me, I believe, the next day, and I haven't had any issues since. And certainly in the 10 months that this shop has been running, these lights haven't had any problems at all, but it's reassuring to know that if I have problems, there is a company nearby, relatively nearby, that will get replacement parts shipped ASAP. That being said, when we did receive these fixtures, they had a little bit of cosmetic damage. They got shipped in big boxes and they got dropped somewhere in the shipping process. And the reflectors, the corners of the reflectors got bent. So I had to spend a little bit of time bending them back. However, it was all cosmetic damage. I did contact Jim to let him know. He didn't think there would be any issue with the drivers. Of course, if there had been when we powered them up, we would have sent, would have just let him know, and he would have sent new ones and install them, and away you go. But that is something to look for when you get a package. Just make sure to inspect them and then decide. Like for us, I could have even not bent them back into shape, and they would have been fine. They go up in the air. I'm never going to see that damage because they're 14 feet up there. So 8 feet, they're 8 feet over my head. Now I wish I could do a comparison between old lights and new lights, but that moment of turning the lights on for the very first time, that's your before and after, from nothing to like the intensity of the sun in your workspace. They're super bright. So.
Hi, Kurt Schroeder here at the Duck Hill Sawmill. I'm the electrician that installed the lights. And in general, happy with the lights. They have very good output as advertised. The 0 to 10 volt dimming we installed and hooked up, and it dims really nice and very uniform. Only drawbacks to the lights we found were they're a hair lightweight. We had a few that had damaged corners during shipping that we had to massage out and make look better before we installed them. And the knockouts weren't at our nominal 1/2 inch trade size, so I actually had to ream them out so my 1/2 inch EMT connectors would fit in there. But in general, they're very easy to hang, lightweight, and worked out great. We didn't have one failure. They all flipped right on when we got it wired up. So, thank you.
All right, guys, there it is. That's what I have for you about these American Green lights. I hope you learned something. I hope it helped you make an informed decision about whether these lights are for you or not. And if you do decide to buy them, leave me a comment below and let me know why, and then let me know how you like them when you get them installed. So don't forget to use that code Duckhill for your 10% off. Until next time, guys.